Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Football Eagles Now. Let's go ahead and jump into a mailbag video. I haven't done a mailbag video in a couple of days. I want to get to your questions as submitted on the community tab of our channel here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. There's a lot of questions, like 30 to 40 questions. I picked the best 6 or 7. We'll dive right into those right now. Starting with Jack Sharp, who says, what teams do you think Zach Ertz would fit? Is there any chance of getting him back? So there are slim chances of keeping Zach Ertz. We talked about this in a video, I think, yesterday, when we talked about how a lot of cap space. There's rumors that he's for sure going to be gone. Pro Football Network had a piece out saying, unequivocally, a source told him that he is going to go ahead and be gone. So I would say it's slim chances. He seems to be a likely cap casualty. They'll try and trade him. I mean, they're not going to cut him. Trading him makes a lot more sense. With that being said, there are plenty of options. I think the Jets, they have a ton of cap space and could use some weapons for Sam Darnold or whoever else they have, trade for Deshaun Watson, whatever there. Jacksonville Jaguars have like $1 billion in cap space. Again, more weapons for Trevor Lawrence. A great tight end for a young wide receiver, or young quarterback could make sense. You have Baltimore mixed in there. The Colts, obviously, with Frank Reich. There are plenty of options to trade Zach Ertz, even though I personally would like to keep him. He's one of the biggest staples of the Eagles organization, my lifetime, at least the past 10 years, pivotal in the Eagles' 2017 Super Bowl run, maybe their most important weapon on both the inside and outside during that year. I don't want to get rid of him. I know you don't want to get rid of him, but when he asked if the chances of bringing him back, it's at 30% right now. It really feels like he's going to go ahead and be traded. I think it would take a lot for them to say, hey, we're for sure keeping Zach Ertz, because again, with the age, the dip in productivity last year, the injuries, Dallas Goedert being really, really good, obviously, and he can be a lot cheaper. I think the cards are stacking up against Zach Ertz to stay, even though, again, I would much rather keep him. What do you guys think? You pin comment down below. Would you trade him or would you keep him? I think the head says trade him, the heart says keep him, is where I'm at. Type T for trade, type K down below for keep. Give me your thoughts, though, on Zach Ertz and the trade situation right now. All right, another question here comes from William. He says, thoughts on the kicking position? Elliott's been very inconsistent. Okay, first off, the Eagles are stuck with Jake Elliott. Just to let you guys know, he signed a new contract, a 5-year deal in 2019, and it's hard to get out, like $10 million guaranteed, so there isn't a cutting Jake Elliott scenario. But when you actually dive into the stats from him last year, as I pull him up on my screen right now, he wasn't that bad. 14 of 19 in terms of field goals, 24 of 26 in extra points. He was perfect from 30 to 49 yards. Really good. Now, he was a little iffy from like 20 to 29 yards. He missed a couple of field goals there, and then missed like over half of his 50-plus yard field goals, the ones he was so good at back in 2018 and 2017. But he wasn't garbage, okay? So I don't want to hate on him. He needs to get better, and if he has a really bad year this coming year, maybe you can cut him based on the money that he would have already earned going through with the contract, but they're not in a spot where they could cut Jake Elliott. I think they could probably trade him, but again, trading kickers in the modern NFL, like, basically never happens. So they're going to stick with them. But again, not as bad as I think a lot of people thought that he was. He missed a couple of kicks in some big games. You remember back to the Giants game the first time. The Eagles won, but if he would have had a kick later on in that football game, they would have won more comfortably. But there was never really a scenario where Jake Elliott was missing game-winning kicks. It was more like they would miss a kick, and then Philadelphia's defense would give up points, and you'd look back on it and be like, man, if you would have made the kick, it could have been easier, but not really a terrible Jake Elliott year. But again, not nearly as good as he was automatic in 2017. Goodness gracious, he was really, really good. What's your confidence level in Jake Elliott right now? I'd say a 6. 7 or 8 is a little high. I feel like he can get to that level, but I'm at a 6 right now for Jake Elliott. I'll see what you guys think down below. Isaac says, despite us likely releasing Alshon Jeffrey, do you think DeSean Jackson is going to stay and continue playing? I'd like to keep a healthy DeSean Jackson. I'm going to say that again. I like to keep a healthy DeSean Jackson, but there's no guarantee you're going to have a healthy DeSean Jackson. Again, this is a guy, the last couple of years, has had great training camps, and we come on this show and we go, oh my gosh, I keep hearing how great the training camp is, and it's true, he's balling out in training camp. He was the best wide receiver in Philadelphia Eagle training camp in 2020. Then he gets hurt, doesn't play, non-existent. I mean, literally, the guy could not stay healthy. So that gives me no confidence he can stay healthy in 2021, but he is signed. He has a cap hit about $5 million, so I guess technically you could cut him, but I think the way the money works right now, it's cheaper and easier just to go ahead and keep him. I think they're going to try to keep him, but I have no confidence in him being anywhere near important for this offense. I think they're going to take a wide receiver at number 6 anyway, and so maybe you just cut him for the principle of needing spots and bodies to go ahead, or less bodies to go ahead and fill roster spots going into the 2021 season. But I'm not going to sit here and say that you should just for sure get rid of him. He stinks. He's really good if he's healthy. He just can't stay healthy, and there's been no guarantee that he will be able to stay healthy based on each of the last couple of years, which have been, I mean, honestly, not good. They've been really, really bad in terms of the fact that he was supposed to be great in 2019, gets hurt in the Atlanta Falcon game, and was done essentially the whole entire year, came back for the Bears game, and then this past year as well. He played late, but, I mean, that was it. And you'd like to have him take the top off of defense. You saw him do it with Jalen Hurts in that one game later on in the year, but overall, Oh man, can't stay healthy. Cannot stay healthy. We're gonna talk about cuts and talk about trades and draft stuff more and more every week here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that here. We're trying to get to 16,000 subs, and so make sure if you like the videos, as I'm sure you guys do, then hit the big red subscribe button. All free, all Eagles, all the time. All right. Darius says, are you going to use Miles or Scott more this coming season? I think running backs here are the question. Obviously, Miles Sanders, way more than Boston Scott. They're going to keep Boston Scott, and he's so cheap, and obviously he is can be a restricted free agent, so they have the exclusive rights to re-sign him. I think they're going to keep Boston Scott, but they're going to let go of like a Corey Clement. Obviously, more Miles Sanders, but as we've shown, and as he's shown, he can't stay healthy for an entire year yet, and so the hope is kind of like with other injured Eagles, he gets back to being 100% healthy and plays well going into next year. Paul says, I think Brian Johnson's a great hire at quarterback. I think he can, at quarterback coach. I think he can fix Wentz and develop Ertz. I agree. I love the hiring of Brian Johnson. I think this is a great young hire. I think Philadelphia's done a really good job hiring assistants in terms of whether it's assistant head coach or whether it's defensive coordinator or quarterbacks coach. Nick Sirianni continues to put together a really good coaching staff. This is a guy, just quickly, if you don't know who Brian Johnson is, 33 years old, first ever African-American offensive coordinator at the University of Florida the past 3 years, and has worked with Dak Prescott at Mississippi State, De'Aaron King, of course, the Miami quarterback going back to school, and then Kyle Trask this year, as Trask threw 40-plus touchdowns, was a Heisman Trophy finalist, really the Florida offense as a whole, completely revitalized. Maybe a tie there with the Kyle Pitts conversation we talked about yesterday, how Pitts at 6 could become real, and obviously this is a guy who was a part of the offense with Trask and Kyle Pitts, but I'm a huge fan of this because, again, brings in some fresh, young perspectives. Anyone other than Press Taylor, to me, is a success at quarterback, and the hope is, again, big shoes to fill here, but Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni, offensive coordinator, all got to pile in together and get the Eagles offense back on track because we have not seen a dangerously lethal Eagles offense really since 2018. And really go back to 2017 because of the injuries in 2018, but we need to get back to 2017 Eagles offense because 2020 and 2019 just were not cutting it. Super Bowl is coming up here quickly. Again, you guys keep DMing me, asking me the betting links right now for BetUS. Jump in on this, chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Promo code Eagles125. Get a 125% deposit bonus, meaning you put $100 down, use the promo code Eagles125, and you'll get $225 for your betting pleasure. Chiefs minus 3.5, over under 56.5. Although, as I said yesterday, my fun bets here, as I like to call them, the prop bets. Mahomes score TD right now, plus 255. Brady, the first TD, maybe a sneak at the goal line, and a Bucks win, plus 5,500. Win a lot of money there, goodness gracious. And then Blinding Lights, that's got to be the weekend's first song, right? Like, come on. Blinding Lights has got to be the weekend's first song. If it's not the weekend's first song, then I don't even know what it would be, unless he wants to do an older song overall. Maybe you're not a fan of The Weeknd. I'm not a big fan. I think Blinding Lights is a good song. It comes on the radio. I listen to it, whatever. But plus 150 for that to be the first song. You feel like that would kind of get the crowd going a little bit, but what do I know? So make sure, again, you guys jumping on the betting right now. chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Use that promo code Eagles125. Get that deposit bonus. That way you win some money on Super Bowl Sunday. Get your Super Bowl parties ready, planned as well. Okay. Who do you think will have a breakout year? Says Romero. Okay. Who needs to? The Eagles need young wide receivers to have a breakout year. Whether that is Jalen Reagor, potentially Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, whoever they take in the first round. Whether that's John Hightower, Quez Watkins, or Greg Ward. They need the wide receivers, and especially the young ones, to go ahead and ball it in 2021. So I would say, honestly, you would want a Fulgham or a Reagor to be a breakout candidate in 2021. Maybe both of them would go ahead and be that. But I think there's some other guys to go ahead and mix into this area as well. I think Jordan Mailata needs to continue to break out and be the starting left tackle of the Eagles. I think you need a young linebacker, whether you draft somebody or you just have, TJ Edwards or Og Singleton really break out and become like a legit starter. I mean, they had decent parts in 2020, but really, really break out. I think you need someone like Miles Sanders to stay healthy and then show that he's one of the best backs in the National Football League. We expected that in 2020. Got banged up a little bit. Eagles couldn't run the football for a long time because no one was afraid of the pass, and so there was loaded boxes against Sanders, but him break out a little bit. There are plenty of candidates you'd like to see go ahead and break out, but any of these young players to me would just be fantastic. How about Josh Sweat, pass rusher on the defensive end side? If you're gonna cut or trade Derek Barnett, possibility there, then you need some of the younger pass rushers to go ahead and step up. And Josh Sweat at times looked like he'd be that guy, but you need 17 games of Josh Sweat being that guy and breaking out and being even better. So plenty of options. Kayvon Wallace, potentially starting safety if they go ahead and move on from Jalen Mills as he's an unrestricted free agent. So plenty of options. But I go back to the wide receivers. They really need to go ahead and ball out because if they can get the offense moving and get teams afraid of the Eagles' passing attack. You can run the ball with Miles Sanders, take some of the pressure off of the defense, and just win more football games overall. That's really the way to do it. So I will say Fulgham or Reagor or any of the other young wide receivers. That is my prediction. Give me your prediction on who the Eagles' breakout player will be in 2021. Let me know what you guys think down below or right now in the comments section. I'm always replying down below and typing down below, and so stay tuned. Obviously, you can always see if I reply to your comments as well. Ultimately, for today here on this Philadelphia Eagles mailbag video. Good weekend. Hope you have a safe and happy weekend. We'll get you guys back here on Monday for an update on the latest Eagles news and rumors as we are headed first, full steam ahead into the offseason, having a bunch of fun hanging out with you guys almost every single day here on the channel. Ultimately, for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Again, I'm Thomas Mott signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.